Hello, and welcome to our Tea Talk Inner Circle edition. So, I wanted to just come on and thank everybody for watching and listening. We really appreciate you and kind of remind everybody how this came to be and why we have the Inner Circle edition. So, a group of us girls, and tonight you're going to get the silly version of us girls. We're getting together about once a month, and some of us had thought about starting a podcast. And anyway, the idea just kind of burst into it. And I want to add that when we were saying podcast, we were thinking just audio. And then Frankie is like, oh, yeah, we're going to do this. And she jumped in and put it all together. And all of a sudden, we had a live podcast and we were all on video. So thank you for bearing with us for the last year as we have all grown and figured out how to do this. We're still new. We're still learning. So we just want to say thank you to all of our listeners and viewers. And you might notice that Frankie is not here this evening. And the reason she's not here is because she is packing up her place in Ohio where she's gone to spend some time with her family and travel and get to know some new people. But she's now coming back to her tribe.
That's right.
Back to us. And that's the whole point, is that we're here because even though we would like to think that life is full of rainbows and butterflies and glitter all the time, it's not. And so we have this tribe. We have our tribe of friends, and you're talking to us all or listening to us all right now. And this tribe is us girls, and we've come together and we laugh no matter what. I mean, times can get hard. Life is crazy, but somehow when we get together, it makes everything okay. We hope that when you join us, no matter what kind of a day you're having, that you're able to laugh and enjoy with us and get something out of our broadcasts and get to feel like you're part of the tribe and you're part of our enjoyment and our laughter and our fun. So tonight, again, unscripted, unfiltered, so you get what you get, but we do at least have a topic. Tonight, we were planning to talk about spirit guides. That's a very broad topic. So in the meantime, make sure to hit like and subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss an episode. And who wants to go first, ladies? Who wants to talk about their spirit guides?
I volunteer Shannon.
I said Danelle first.
I said Shannon first.
We always volunteer Shannon.
No.
Okay, what you want to know?
I'm innocent. Go ahead, Danelle.
Okay.
What is a spirit guide to you?
I can't. Okay.
You can't hear us?
No, I can hear you. I was just going to say, what is a spirit guide?
Okay. Well, a spirit guide, I can only give you what I feel and what is like what I know. But a spirit guide is that you have more than one spirit guide, but you usually have like a main guide. That's kind of why I wanted Shannon to talk a little bit, because when we went to Camp Chesterfield, there's like an array of spirit guides that not everybody necessarily believes in or whatever, but a spirit guide is somebody that when you come to incarnate, they help plan your life, and they try to keep you on that track. They try to keep you, whatever you were planning on coming to learn or try is the right.
Free will.
And when we get to the other side, I'd love to see what they look like for like, thank God it's over. Like they must get
the
like
expressions
some type of
on
medal.
their face.
Yeah.
Yay.
But they're with us from pre-birth until we go home, usually guiding us home. So yeah, that's what a spirit guide is to me.
I will add that for you. So yes, at Camp Chesterfield, especially when you're going for the mediumship or so forth, you're taught that there's several different circles, so to speak. So you have your inner circle, which is usually comprised of three main guides. Okay, one is your joy guide or gatekeeper, and and that's the person that they have a little bit of fun with you as well, but you talk to them, and they're the ones that are going to determine who is allowed in to provide you the messages and who's not. And it's kind of you're learning each other, and you're training each other as well, and so forth. Then you have your protector, and that's usually most often a Native American. It could be male or female, doesn't have to be, and then you're going to have your doctor teacher. Okay. And those are your three primary. Then you also may have your chemist. Okay. If some people go a period of time without knowing their chemist, but there is a chemist involved, and so forth. So, and I apologize at the moment, the fifth one is escaping me, but and probably because I know four of mine, but I don't know necessarily that one. You're going to have on your circle outside of that, you're going to have other spirit guides, angels, those kinds of things coming in at different time frames, depending on where you're at, what's happening with you, that may need a little bit more of assistance. Maybe you are ready to level up a little bit more, so that guide comes in to assist your primary. Those primaries stay with you, but your ones on the outer circle are going to come in and leave as needed. So that's where we're at with that.
So my thinking is, and I just had this conversation with my mom. So I for our viewers and listeners, I want to distinguish. I talk about a spirit team. And so when I refer to a spirit team, that is everybody, every being, every entity that is helping you out through this journey of life. So whether that's ancestors from many lives ago, whether that is loved ones who've passed and are on the other side or in heaven, that's your angels, your archangels, and it's also your spirit guides. So for me, it makes up the variety is the spirit team. But today we're just touching on the spirit guides. And I didn't have any formal training. I know Frankie had mentioned she had training from Lily Dale. Shannon and Janelle both had training and got to know some of their spirit guides through Chesterfield. And I know, Natalie, you're just kind of starting out and getting to know yours. And I know that you're hearing them now. You're hearing those little pings, and we've talked a little bit about that. But your spirit guides don't necessarily, especially in the beginning, you might not have a name or an identity of your spirit guide. So it's really just starting out, and from a person who's kind of starting out, Natalie, and you're getting that insight. What are your thoughts on that?
So I have another question as I'm answering this question. I have another question because I'm thinking of spirit guides, and I can share an experience in a minute, but the spirit guide and intuition, and how are they connected? Are they not? Because I'm thinking about driving. I most often find I'm protected in the car. So I'll happen to slow down right at the right time when a car just comes piling through in front of me, or I'll take a different route and there's always a reason, or I'm late because I spilled my coffee all over myself. And there's these things happen. Is that spirit guides intervening? Is that intuition? Is it all the same? Is that too broad of a question?
It's not too broad of a question. For me,
No.
That's where your intuition kicks in, is determining who just helped me. Where did that come from? So for me, that's your spirit team. It could have been an angel. It could have been your guide. It could have been your protector. It could have been an ancestor. You really, really need. Now, do they work with your spirit guides and angels? Well, yeah. So that's not too broad of a question. That's where your intuition kicks in. So sometimes if all of a sudden you feel like you need to go a different route, you need to go inside and go, okay, is that angelic? Is that, you know what I mean? That's where you do your work, and to determine what it is. Because it does feel a little bit different. Sometimes angelic can feel a little bit different from a spirit guide, only because it's Spirit
Oh,
guides have lived on the earth. And a lot of times your guides have done what you're doing. So they know the path you're trying to go on. So they've done it. Here, I'm going to help guide you.
Yeah,
And so
I
I
just
did
had
the
this
same thing
happen.
that Kendra did as well, because I look at it, you do have your spirit guides, but then you also have the team. So Kendra,
mhm.
I do the same
Same.
thing, because you also
Yeah.
have the elementals and all that kind of stuff to add in there.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah, I had exactly what you're talking about, Natalie and Janelle, happened to me the other day. I was taking my mom to get blood work, and so I just had this voice in my head that said, "Don't go this way," which is the shortest route. I might add, it would have been the easiest route. That said, you should go this way, and I paused, almost like just like a split second or a part of a second, just to check in, like, is this real? Like, should I
Mhm.
really go this other way? And I heard yes, and I saw the image, go this other way. I didn't question where that came from. And so I think that that's where, does it matter? Like, that's one of the lessons I've come to learn, is sometimes it doesn't matter. And I actually said it out loud to my mom, who I said, well, I don't know where this is coming from, but my spirit team is telling me. And again, I didn't identify spirit guide or angel or, where it was. My mom was like, well, I believe that my spirit team is the Holy Spirit of Jesus Christ. And I'm like, right, Mom, that's part of your spirit team, right? I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
you're using the word spirit in the conversation. Like, it's still whatever you believe. And this is really where I feel so strongly that whatever you believe, Christianity, Buddhism, Taoism, like, none of the above, it all comes to mean the same thing. Your ancestors and loved ones and angels, they don't care what you believe. They're just here to
Mhm.
guide you through your life. So
Uh-oh. There's a
yeah,
there's a
Yeah.
raising
there's a
of a
hand.
hand.
Oh, Shannon, go.
So if you think about it, this is what gets people too. We're all spirits. We just have a suit where you can see us.
Mhm.
Our spirit team that's helping us is not, they don't have a suit.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
We decided to incarnate so that we could do life lessons and do the studying and so forth, and test all that stuff out. But when we don't have this anymore, we're back to spirit.
Not having a
Yeah.
suit.
We're spiritual beings having an earthly experience, a
Yeah.
human experience, but depending on what you believe. But that's my belief. So when you look at it that way, we're just tapping into our roots.
Our roots.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Yeah. Did that
I
answer your
had,
question, Natalie, at all?
Oh yeah,
I
sorry,
mean,
Natalie. Got off on a
yeah,
tangent.
I think,
That's what we
no,
do.
it's, that's why we're here. Yeah, I think it did answer my question. And then really my question is, I don't know if it's answerable, right? So,
Yeah.
Give it a
You mean
shot.
yeah,
Go
it
ahead.
doesn't matter who's helping you, but it is
exactly.
sometimes sometimes that first thought that comes into your mind. I for Kendra's book, she had me write a part in her book of an experience that I had. That one.
I was prepared today.
Yeah, you're not effing crazy book.
Never happened.
She had me write in the book an experience that I had,
Mhm.
and I really, really felt my father-in-law, angelic energy. So I just knew I mean, it was such a quick, like, I couldn't believe it. It was so quick, but I had that thought immediately of who helped. Later, I got more energy from it, just thinking about the whole situation. And I felt the same thing. But no, I guess it doesn't matter. But sometimes it's just your first thought is what is happening, is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
I remember,
important to know that sorry, Natalie. I think it's
oh,
important
you're
to know
good.
that we're not experts by any mean. We don't know what we don't know. Like, we might have all little tidbits,
Yeah.
but we're not experts in any of this.
They're
Right?
just our experiences, like what we've
Our
experienced to this time.
Yeah,
Speaking of
our own experiences.
experiences, I came to these guys a few months ago, it was a while ago, actually, about a dream I had. And in my dream, I was asleep and I said, Kendra, you came to me in the middle of the night. And I'm also blonde, and my mom is blonde. So we have the same kind of look about us, but it was just this beautiful, angelic, blonde, pale, flowy, and it was like a swirl. And I jumped, like yeah, this person I don't know, spirit guide, angel just came to my dream and I woke up. And I said, what was that? And that was it. You guys said maybe that was your spirit guide.
Yeah.
It could have been your spirit guide, and the fact that you're remembering the dream gives a lot of clarity as to maybe what was going on. And I feel like they're just presenting themselves to you more and more. You're hearing, and
Mhm.
Natalie, you can't tell me. Just being in your energy,
Yeah.
you
Right.
have heard,
Yeah.
you hear and feel things strongly than a lot of people do. You really do. So, um,
We all doubt ourselves.
yeah.
And I think it's just, Natalie, you're just coming into the modalities where you're the yoga teacher, the Reiki practitioner now, where you're the healer and you're starting to realize the power of the gifts that you've always had. And so, but we all still doubt ourselves. I mean, we've talked about it before. We all ask for, the 18,000 signs. Is this real? And
That's me.
yeah. Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
me. It's
I need
and
more knowledge. Study
and
harder, study harder.
the
Yeah. How many spiritual
meditation,
classes can we take? Right.
you can take a bunch, but meditation is where you're gonna more connect. Well, I can't say that because I know a lot of people that really just they don't meditate. It's just in the quiet moments. It's in the driving. It's
Yeah,
whatever
there's it.
meditation is for you. So I don't know. Sometimes it's in a trauma. Sometimes that's when
Mm.
things start really awakening is a trauma.
Mhm.
And sometimes those traumas do come in for you to awaken at that time because you're here for certain reasons. So, I mean, it's infinite the things that can happen. But spirit guides are always with you. You you never, I mean, you come in alone somewhat, but your guide's still there. You leave this earth and your guide is there. So, I don't know. They're just with you.
And I sometimes
Sorry, go
think
ahead.
too that when it gets, yeah, sorry, Kendra. I sometimes think too that when it comes to trauma, I think that's like it's getting closer to the last resort. And I'm not saying this is a right or wrong. It's just something that just came to me because we're always asking questions, or they're always trying to help guide us to direct where we need to go. And sometimes we could get slapped upside the head with a 2x4 several different times, or they go ahead and adjust things based on the choices we make because we have free will.
Me too.
Yes.
They understand all that, but they still their purpose is to help guide us back into the direction of what we wanted to accomplish this lifetime. So they're going to try to do that. And then if they really do just have to make sure that they get your attention, then you may potentially have a slight trauma, as Danelle and Kendra have had.
Mhm.
And
But
Frankie,
and
Yeah.
just saying.
yeah, and I'm not, I'm not saying that that's a gold standard, but I do
Uh-uh.
believe the universe does a number of ways to try to get your attention, and it's just sometimes that's the way
What
that
is
occurs, and
is
we're
that
always asking
story?
questions. They're always answering. They're always answering us. It's just a matter of are we
Always.
seeing what they're saying. So
Yeah.
yesterday,
Always.
when I sent that note that I woke up, I was like, oh my God. So I just got up and then I'm
Okay,
having to
share
sing
share
that
it with the
song.
listeners.
Um, well, so I woke up at 3:17, God number, to the song in my head, Delta Dawn by Tanya Tucker. So I'm singing the part that I can remember. I'm like, okay, this is kind of crazy. Making coffee, I'm trying to do a different tune. Doesn't work. It's bad. So I look up the words. I'm like, okay, that's nothing's connecting there. I look up who actually wrote the song and so forth. I never had. So I know that history now. It's about this guy, and
Yeah.
it's actually was a tribute to his mom, and he felt guilty because she committed suicide. I was like,
Wow.
okay. So until about noon, that song is going through. And then I had to look up. So I know that my natural mother was reaching, because I said, okay, I want signs from everybody. So actually there were signs from all of well, except for my stepfather, my parents. So yellow roses would be my stepmother because of all the 64,000 rose bushes that I used to have to water.
64,000. Was it
You
square?
counted. Sure, it wasn't 64,001.
Right. And then my mother and my birth mother, we always connected through different music. So I had to look up Julio Iglesias. And so I looked at the year because that was the last person that she indicated to me that we were able to actually, the last time I was able to speak to her and visit and stuff like that. And she got this googly eyed look. She's like, oh my God. And this is when you're first learning how to be a friend with your parent, and it's weird because you come back and they're acting like you, and it's like, okay, who are you and where's my mother? But anyway, she was so excited. She's like, check this out. And she's like, haven't you ever heard of Julio Iglesias? And I'm like, no, what is a Julio Iglesias? And I mean, glazed over, look at her eyeball. I'm like, oh my God, I've never seen it's just one of those that you can't unsee. So I looked at and
you can't unsee.
Once I played that, I was like, we're good. So they were responding. Okay, we're making sure that you're paying attention. So here we are. So it's just different things like that.
Did you ever figure out what
I don't know where I was going.
Message was?
Not yet, right?
Not yet. But I also am aware that at least I'm narrowing it down as to why I might have gotten.
Did you look into was that somebody's favorite song?
But see, sometimes that stuff happens when you do regular sessions, readings, whatever. Sometimes that stuff happens. See, this is when we go to our spirit guides and say, "Listen,
you're right." Now,
yes, they'll bring something like that in, and if you have a session, so keep that in mind, and then tell your spirit team, "Hey, I don't mind the messages, but maybe a little closer to the session." I mean. I don't know, but just keep that in mind because it could be a message for them.
Yeah, I had someone's grandma. I was going to do a Reiki session on somebody, and his grandma was visiting me 3 days ahead of time. I'm like,
yes.
Who are you?
Oh.
Like, what is this? Remember that name I came up with? Like,
yes.
This was like a week prior. And
She's
I'm like,
texting me, what does this name mean to you?
What does this mean? I was working out. I'm in the middle of sit-ups, for crying out loud. And I'm like, what is this name? And wouldn't leave. I was asking everybody. And
it was the lady's son, right?
Yeah. And as soon as she came in, that's when I felt like I should ask her. And I'm like, I'm not asking her that. Are you crazy? No way. And I just felt this. I mean, I had to, as scared as I was,
Right.
But yeah. So keep that in mind. Write that down, Shannon.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, what's weird and what I said on the text group was that I also woke up at exactly 3:17. I didn't have Delta Dawn playing in my head, but and Tanya Tucker was raised nearby here. She was raised in Safford.
Oh wow, yeah. I didn't know that.
My mom still has one of those. What are they? 33.5-inch records. The old vinyl that's coming back, or it will come back someday, maybe. Yeah. I saw this on a reel today, totally off the subject, guys. Welcome to my world. Yeah. I saw this on a reel today. We were born in the 1900s.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yes, everybody. We were born in the 1900s, late 1900s, right? Like
Eh,
okay.
A little over middle.
70s for
Little-
me is late. I mean, so I'm a Gen Xer.
yeah,
Yeah, we are.
yeah,
That was a
we are.
big Gen Xers were. That's a big group, right? It
It's a
ranges
big
I know.
group.
We're the
quite the
Yeah.
ages.
survivalist.
Don't
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't
Shannon,
discount
are
the
you?
boomers. I was a baby
I,
boomer on the tail end of the
Oh,
you
you
got to
could
be on the
hear us? You
cusp.
could hear us? You
I
poor
You
don't
got
thing.
to
think
be
you
on the
were.
cusp.
You weren't a boomer.
You got to be
Yes,
on the
I
cusp.
Were
am.
you?
She's a
Yes.
boomer.
Wow.
Mhm.
I
Oh,
thought
well,
And
I
I
thought Gen
am
X.
proud of that.
Good job. We're proud of you
I
too.
just did that.
We-
If you could see, she's doing the snaps. Everybody.
back and forth. Well, if you're on the audio podcast, you can't
Yeah.
probably can't see it. Um,
Which
So
is a
I
good
was-
thing because I don't have rhythm.
Because she's a
I
boomer.
wanted to-
I
I wanted to
apologize
go
for the
back. Oh
boomers
my
out there.
God.
I'm joking.
She's not. But I wanted to go back to like the asking the question and does it matter who it is and the 2x4s like Shannon you were saying like sometimes we're not getting the messages and I don't remember where I heard it but it was this story about a guy in an ocean or in a lake and he was drowning and he says you know he ends up dying and he goes to the other side and when he meets God he says why didn't you save me and God said I sent 3 boats for you. Well, and I guess one was like, you know, I sent a boat and you the boat drifted on by and you said, don't worry, God will save me. And then I sent a lifeboat and you said, don't worry, God will save me. And then, you know, so it's like we miss those signs. It's good to have faith, but how far is that faith going to go? You still have to listen to the signs and follow the roadmap because that free will sometimes can get us in a little bit of trouble.
yeah.
And you know what? Natalie said it on our show that was just released today. Our first inner circle is being released, and you said it. We're put in places for reasons. You
Mm.
know, we're put in those places, and some of that is the guides working behind the scenes. You know, source, Buddha, whoever you know. We're put in places for reasons, and we
Yep.
don't recognize until sometimes we're forced to really put ourselves out there. I think I told you the story that I had found a lump in my breast, and I had did the mammogram, and I needed to go in for the biopsy, and so I go into the biopsy, and the doctor's coming in, and he's like, I don't see on this screen what they see. I need to go consult with other doctors and online. And I'm like, I'm waiting to be biopsied. And I said, no problem. He comes back and they're like, we all feel the same. We can biopsy this and put you through this. But for right now, why don't we have you come back in 3 months and let's revisit all of this if you're comfortable? And I said, you know what? I am comfortable with that. I go to leave, and there is a lady in the lobby having this panic attack. And she had to go do an MRI, and she's trying to tell the people up front that she doesn't know if she can do this. She's claustrophobic and just losing it. And they're like, right, have a seat, and as much as they don't know what to say or do, they're trying to work and phones are ringing. And she is just in this panic. And I'm leaving thinking, oh, I feel for her. I'm going to send her some loving energy. And I halfway to the car, it's like my guide going, yeah, you need to go talk to her. I'm like, the hell I do. No, I don't. Mm-mm. I get in the car, sit down, car started, and
Not listening.
not listening. And that energy was so strong. And he was like, you have to go talk to her. Like, what am I going to do? I don't like MRIs either. I go back in, and it was like a channeling. I asked her if I could sit next to her, and I said, I hear you're nervous. And I just started doing this breathing with her and showing her how to breathe and what's your favorite place. And she said the ocean, and I have her picturing the ocean, and I show her how to breathe. And she just instantly, you could see that calmness. And then my guide kind of backing off, going, okay, you're done. And I'm like, great, have a nice day. And I'm out of there.
She's running.
I
So-
am not a drive-by reader. I am not a drive-by. That stuff freaks me out. But sometimes they put you in places like that. And 3 months later, my scan, my mammogram, everything was clear. Nothing was
It's
there.
like you just had to be in the right place at the right time to
Mhm.
help someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that. I love that story, Janelle. So, ma'am, if you're listening or you're watching this show, we would love for you to comment or write in the comments. So
It wasn't me.
It wasn't her. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think it would be great, and we'd love to hear, other people. If you're on YouTube, write in the comments if you've had any experiences like this.
I'd love to hear the
it's great to
comments
have
because
that
I
interaction.
know people have had experiences
Well,
and they
yeah.
just don't realize. Yeah. Yeah.
Or they won't talk about it because their
Crazy.
upbringing.
That one.
No,
Their
because of their
upbringing. Well,
upbringing.
yeah. Their upbringing
Won't
too.
allow them to, because they're
Right.
like, okay, no, we can't be talking about this.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate.
And we have
So,
one of our friends who's part of our dinner group, who was brought up in a very confined space, who wasn't allowed to talk about that. But you're not crazy. You're not crazy. And today you were talking about they're with you forever, like from when the time basically before you're born. And I want to touch on imaginary friends. Shannon, remember when we went last April? We went to the LA Festival of Books. You and myself and Wendy went to promote my book. And we were so blessed and honored to meet an author who's also an actor. His name is Jay Ellis. And we heard him speak. And he was speaking about a book he had released, which is, I think it's called, Did Everybody Have an Imaginary Friend, or Was It Just Me? And he was doing this whole talk about how he's engaging his kids and or his nieces and telling them, these imaginary friends, they're like real, like you should have these imaginary friends. And I really resonate with that, as that's part of your spirit team. Those are your spirit guides. When you have an imaginary friend as a kid or as an adult, I mean, you could say that my spirit guides who have names, you could say they're my imaginary friends if you wanted to.
so if you think about this too, we don't think anything about when we're like on the computer and we're talking to ourselves, or we're going through dusting and we might be talking to ourselves or things like that. That's okay. We can talk to ourselves. That's fine. Unless we're doing some weird, hand gesture, all that kind of stuff that it might not be weird to us, but then we're labeled as crazy. So there becomes a fine line and everything. And so the judgment comes in.
Yes.
And then we go back. It's like the circle of life type thing. We start out as kids. We have those friends and so forth. But because we can't see them, then we shut that off for the kids.
Yeah.
Okay. We shut that part off, and we shut off their imagination. And when your imagination gets stunted, that makes it very difficult for you as well. So,
Yeah, I did not. I fed my daughter's imaginary friends. I made sure they had time to get into the car.
See, I love that.
I
love that.
What an awesome mom.
Whatever
Mhm.
and it was, I remember it was during a hard time, and I just played along. I guess I made space for my child, and if she wants to have, whether it's a great imagination or something that was really there to help her through a time, a spirit guide, it was not going to shut that down.
And I'm glad you didn't. But you know what? If you think about it now, when you started going, I mean, I know you did your yoga training and you've always been spiritually connected, but did you look back and go, was that her guide? Did you kind of go back in some of the moments that earlier in life you realized?
Yeah. Well, when I think about the time what was happening at that time, whether it was a spirit guide or imagination or whatever, and it may have been a spirit guide, she needed that. She needed to have that outlet. So I made sure that she was able to have that.
able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Kendra talked about her. It, for any of you who are going through like a spiritual awakening and you're curious about your guides, Kendra's book has, I don't, I know I'm not trying to plug you, but the book
Yeah, let's just keep
is
plugging it.
right. But it's good for a reason because you talk a lot about the experience you had with your guides and how they came to you a specific way during one of a huge trauma, probably the third trauma or fourth trauma at that point that you had because you don't listen.
I always know better. They don't know what they're
Right.
talking about.
Right. But she talks about that. She talks about her experience. So I don't know. If anybody is curious about their guides, take classes.
Yes.
Definitely take classes. You
There's
can
so
learn
much
how to
information
communicate.
out there.
Where do you
Yeah.
even find these classes? Like, where would you go?
Well, there's several. I mean,
We should probably teach one.
we should. And I
Yeah,
know
we
it.
should.
I
But
know it.
clearly, Lily Dale, we know,
Yes.
Chesterfield,
Chesterfield.
right?
Those are definites.
And they
There's
have
so many
online classes
schools.
for both.
Right.
You know?
And there's
And then
tons of
the
books out there.
Yeah.
and then the
there
angel
is.
Reiki. But I think with respect to that, eh, the biggest piece of advice I can give, and it's easier said than done, so keep that in mind as well, is to not compare yourself to somebody else and think
Yeah.
that just because you're not receiving like they are, that something is wrong with you. Because we all have the ability, but based on whatever
Mhm.
you're supposed to be doing at this point in time in this lifetime, it's going to come to you at the time you need it.
Yeah.
None of us receive the same. We have some
We
of the
don't.
same gifts, but the three of us between Kindred, Danelle, and I, we don't receive the same.
No.
And Natalie is still
And we have
learning
all
how she
different
receives. So
versions of
I'm getting
guides.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and
So
it also
I'm
depends on why
practicing
you're
it.
here.
Right. And I'm practicing now because it is a different energy in learning how to connect with the angel side.
Uh-huh.
And I'm doing it purposely so I can get past that comparing myself issue with somebody else and thinking, okay, I'm behind. Nobody is behind. You're not behind. So that's where we need to do it. Or
And I
that's
also
what my advice to you would be.
There's no firm, hard rules. I think that's really important
Right.
too. You have to trust yourself and take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Because I mean, I've taken some of the courses on mediumship and I got to know my guides differently. My guides came to me directly, but that's not the same for everybody. Like there's no hard and fast rules. There's no, and we've talked about this several times. There's not one way to do something. Like there's a whole bunch of ways. And if they are not meeting you through one way, they'll meet you through another. It's not a specific outline. There's no instruction. So even if somebody has a class, Natalie, it's not like they can say it's X, Y, and Z, and this is the only way it happens, right?
So and if they do, would that be a red flag? Or
to me, it would be.
It is for me, just from experience, but I know that it all depends on why you're here. Kendra and I had a mentor that she asked me she was doing a reading for me, and she asked me, what does spirit guide energy feel like? Because she is mainly connected with angels. So she was like, what does that feel like? And all I could really say is, it's kind of like somebody's loved one. So it's like an earthly feeling compared to an angelic energy, just feels a little bit different. And even if you can't feel it, you may just know it. So that's what Shannon just said. We receive differently. So you may not be able to feel, oh my gosh, this feels different. some people might see it. And if you see little sparkles, yeah, it could be your guide. But if you see something completely different that you just cannot, like you're mesmerized by, that could be angelic energy. But yeah, I mean, classes are one of the best things. And if people, you know what? If people on here that you find us on YouTube or wherever, and you're able to comment and you're wanting to learn more, I would make all of us do classes for you. We would
Oh, gosh.
we would have a workshop or something just to get people to meditate or
Look at her
just suck it up,
sounding like she
Buttercup.
has power.
Yeah. This is exactly how she roped us all into this before.
But that I guess that's what we do though for each other and with each
Yeah.
other.
We do.
And that's what we're looking for with with the app and in our Tea Talk show is building that community of
For
like-minded
that reason,
individuals.
and the app. But but you said the red flag, and that's why I'm saying this, because I don't want somebody to go somewhere and after $5,000, you don't have a spirit guide. That just pisses me
Yes.
off. I
Right.
swear that just makes me,
Or you're
Right.
wrong because that wouldn't happen that way. It has to
that's not
happen
how
this
it
way.
works.
Yeah. And
No.
that's
Right.
why.
And
So
that
that would be
there's
a
no
red flag.
rules. There are no rules.
Well, and for instance, I know a lot of us experience guides, angels when we're little, and it's so scary that we want to shut it off, and we say that go away. And
That
I
is
know,
me.
right? And I know
See?
some people that are in this business have said, well, you're not going to get them back now because you shun them. No, they're going to come back.
Mhm.
They're yes. And I know it may not be, and then you live in that fear of, are they really going to come back? They never left. They
Mm-mm.
never left.
They
I
just got
mean,
quiet.
they got quiet and they may have done some work on the other side, but they never left. And they always are steering you where you need to go, because we go way, way off into la la land half the time, and they will get us back where we need to be. And because when you start feeling anxiety and you start feeling things like nothing's working, I don't know what's going wrong, it's just they're trying to give you that feeling so you can get back to where you were supposed to be. That's just the wrong direction. You need to pivot. Go ahead and pivot. You're good. Yeah, so that's why I said I think that we could do a class for anybody that's really wanting to just connect or get to know their guide or feel, or just how do I do this? For that reason, you said the red flag, and I'm like, ooh,
Yeah. Good point.
okay, yeah,
And we
Yeah.
could I mean, this is so Frankie co-hosted a retreat. We did a retreat a year and a half ago, and Danelle and Shannon had talked about Danelle and Kendra and Shannon all getting together and teaching classes together. And then Shannon dropped off. And so I set up the training
Yes, you
schedule
did.
with Frankie. And then I said, well, Shannon never answered. Danelle goes, oh no, she's doing it.
Oh hell no, is what I said.
Okay.
So
She's doing it. She
there's
got us in
parts-
this mess.
There's parts left out. Danelle would talk to me and she'd say, I know we're all, because I would ask, how's Kendra? She would tell me, because believe it or not, we don't see each other all the time, but I would ask, and she'd say, oh, she's doing well. And she'd say, I know we're supposed to do something together. I just don't know what it is. So we finally got together and I'm like, well, yeah, I do kind of see this, and this. But human design wise, yes, we're all supposed to be, it's a bigger picture. We're all supposed to be doing this. But
Yeah.
in all fairness, they're scheduling all that, and I'm trying to keep up with the text and all that.
She doesn't have an iPhone. We blame that.
Yeah, we just had this long dish, but she does silent movies, so we're good. That's connected.
Sorry.
So yeah, it worked out well. But yeah, we could do it. Well, we have done another mini.
We did. It was a
day. If you want,
Yeah, that worked out really well.
So that
too.
worked out.
Mhm.
For individuals that came down from Phoenix, they really liked that. So yeah, we could do that.
We can do workshops. Mhm.
Oh.
So Danelle, what is your primary? What primary? I know we have several, but what is your primary, Claire?
Well,
How'd we go from spirit guides to Claire?
to Claire's. Well, in all fairness, that show just dropped today.
It
Oh,
did,
okay, that's
yeah.
why. Yeah.
So people can watch this and go, hey, they had a show drop? Yes, we did. So a month ago, when you're seeing this, there was a show that dropped. Go watch it, and then you can watch this. But
Well,
my
because
main
that's how your
Claire,
spirit guides speak to you.
they do
That is
speak to us
true.
through our Claires. So
Yeah.
Yes.
at first, it
That's
was
how
the
it works.
feeling. At first, it was the feeling. I
So
can see
clairsentience,
in my mind's eye.
Mhm.
Okay.
clairvoyance.
The knowing is extremely strong, more so than the feeling now. And let me explain that. Let me clarify.
That's claircognizance. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to have mostly feeling, but when you're an empath and you do your work and you learn to set boundaries, we think, oh my gosh, I lost all my feeling. It's not as strong as it used to be. No, you did your work. So some of your other clairs kick in because you don't need to feel everything. So I have a touch of it all. And that's part of the issue because when you have like, especially a clear knowing, you question it. You know something, you don't know how you know, but you know something. So, but I get a lot of thoughts in my head, lots of thoughts in my head. It'll just come to me. Or if I'm in quiet moments, all of a sudden, something that happened 3 years ago, I'll have that. This is why. This is why it happened. Or like for you, Kendra, you just said driving.
All the
I had
time.
to go a different way. Wait, is this me? Am I making? No, drive this way. And you just start listening. So it's those little thoughts. You can see a flash. So it's all of them now. I don't have as much. I have the feeling, but not as much. Unless I'm doing a session, sometimes I'll know why. I mean, anybody that does any type of readings or energy work, you get nervous before a session. You
Mhm.
just do. And sometimes I'm more nervous than other times. And when somebody walks in the door, I'm like, okay, they are scared to death. Okay, this isn't necessarily mine. They're just
So you're
prepping
feeling
me.
their energy.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to cancel this. I can't do a session like this. Are we kidding? And then it's like, okay, all right, I get it. Yeah.
Well, and I know Frankie was talking about how she walks into a room and she puts out like these feelers. That was really fascinating to me because feeling is not a clair I've developed. So it's kind of foreign to me. I don't usually get a feeling sense of any kind.
Yeah. It's well, I mean, Shannon didn't either for a while, and then it started kicking in and it was kicking her butt. Like she was going, now.
Yeah. Well,
And I'm like, yeah.
well, I had really good walls up,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
if for personal, but if I was at work, it was a little bit different for the patients and the families. It would be down.
Totally
Yeah,
different.
But yeah,
I
Totally
agree.
different.
yeah. So, and then,
Yeah.
so for me, it's also the clear cognizance. They make me seem brilliant, and Danelle and them will tell me, okay, yep, she's in the zone. And I'm like, yep. So if we're doing that, and next thing you know, they we're out of it, and later and they'll ask me, I'll be like, okay, yep, sorry, I don't have that. I
Right.
also have the clear aliens smells. And what's coming to me more now is the clear seeing. But for me, it's in objects, pictures, and nature. So something will come. So it's just different things of that sort. So we all get it a little bit, differently in that regard.
Yeah.
And
So
for
I
me,
wanted to share this. Hurry up, Shannon.
go ahead.
No, you.
Are you done with that thought? Because I have a whole nother one that I almost keep forgetting to bring up.
Well, I don't want you to do that
so that I wouldn't forget. So we talked about like spirit guides in every different religion or whatever you believe. So my mom and I went to Alaska in June, and one of the things that we like to do is learn about the culture. And so we've done this before, but there's a tribe that I'm going to say it wrong, so please forgive me. But the Tlingit tribe, it's spelled Tlinggit.
Clink it.
It's
Clink it?
kind of like that. She said, like you go clink it, like that's how
Oh,
you're supposed to
wow.
work on. Yeah, it's a foreign language to me. But anyway, so they're natives, like right, they're real natives, the Alaskan natives, and they've done things for centuries based on their tribal ways. And so when we were learning about the totem poles at the Saxman Totem Village, I don't remember what town it was in. I want to say it was in Ketchikan, but I'm not positive. Anyway, they were talking about how these totem poles sometimes would come to be. And the shamans, they would follow their spirit guides into the woods. And so this sparked in my head because I knew we were going to be doing this episode. So I started digging a little bit deeper into that. And they call them spirit helpers. And a shaman would go into the woods and get guidance on what the story was going to be for this totem pole. And so they would only enter the forest to go on this journey after they were called by a spirit guide or a spirit helper, because the forest represented like hidden, dangerous, and supernatural areas instead of the safe, visible world that they were living in. So their spirit guide, which is often an animal spirit, and I know several of us relate to this, often an animal spirit such as a bear, a raven, a wolf, or it says a clan crest being, would appear through, Natalie, dreams, visions, illness that signaled initiation, and encounters with animals or omens. How many times have we said, oh, I saw this animal repeatedly? Shannon is there on her Google. Shannon's like, this is the spiritual meaning of that.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
But these spirit guides, they were understood to be teachers, not deities, because they guide you towards knowledge, healing, and power. So to move forward on that, they would follow the spirit guide's signs, and the spirit guide might affect the shaman through a specific animal appearing repeatedly, ding, 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 a dream showing a path, a mountain, or a grove, so they would follow the path, a sound or a call in the forest, or a symbolic sign like feathers, tracks, unusual weather. And then the shaman would interpret these signs as instructions for where to go to do that, where to go to get the medicine that they would need for healing somebody. So, and then they would return to their community with all of this knowledge and wisdom. And it just is fascinating to me that you can go back for centuries and there's all these different varieties and versions of the same thing, the same repeated traditions in some realm.
Wow. That's beautiful to me.
Thank you for letting me share.
Yeah. It just brings that it's not just us. There's different cultures. There's different, indigenous nations that deal with their spirit guides. I mean, I just love it. Yeah.
I saw on a show.
Natalie.
Oh, go ahead, Natalie.
I'm hearing some music. Did
I
you
hear
guys hear
music.
that?
Yes. I hear music.
And it's a beautiful tune.
It's our app.
Oh, I think it is.
It's our
I do
app
have it
music.
open. I do have it open.
Kendra, I could beat you with a stick. I'm like, what is this? I'm texting all of you.
I had this thought. I said, we're not going to be able to drop this episode. I don't know.
I'm like,
so
I can't.
sorry.
My ears are ringing. I'm like, okay, my spirit. I'm like,
so
I'm
Natalie
in the middle of
mentioned
this
the
recording.
app. Natalie mentioned the app, so I opened it on my phone because I was going to be like, oh, so don't forget our A Little Bit of Kindness app.
Amazing.
You can get it on the
Yeah.
Google Play Store or Apple.
Mhm.
So I opened. I'll close it now.
There's a free version, and if you pay for the subscription, you get a little bit longer classes and videos.
That's where a lot of the workshops are going to be, is in the subscribing, which is very affordable. But if you don't want to do that, you just want to get some knowledge,
It's
we
there for
do
free.
little videos like this going, "Hi, I'm Danelle," because we're terrified. I mean,
That's
when
exactly
Frankie,
what her video looks like.
"Hi,"
Not at all.
Not-
Not even
not.
close.
that's what it feels like. Because when we originally did this, like Kendra said, we're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast, no problem.
Like-
PJs, no issue at all. Hair looking crazy. And then Frankie's like, "Okay, we're gonna be live and we'll be in studio." And I'm like, with like a
What?
camera? I was like, yeah, I'm out. Sorry. Not gonna do it. And you guys were like, "Yeah, you were not doing it without you." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And then the videos for this app, oh, scared me to, yeah. It's a great
Did the
app.
music
And
Go ahead.
stop?
there are some
Yes, it
videos
did.
out there of me that it's like, to do it live. I'm like, okay, on location. And people
Yeah.
loved it when I'm like, oh my God.
We're always
okay,
our own
whatever.
worst critics, right? I'm not a fan of mine either.
Yeah.
But also, I think
Mhm.
it's important to remember my nephew was just talking about a book by somebody named, I think, Gary V. He said, if you just Google Gary V, I was like, what does the V stand for? He says, I don't know. Anyway, I think it might be called Crush It. But the point is, the title of the book. But the point is, Natalie's Googling it right now. Look at her.
Yeah.
She's so good. She's so
She is
good.
good. The point is that, you know, you have
Oh,
to
yeah,
start
crushing
somewhere.
it.
Crushing it. There we go. See, there's a
Mhm.
plug.
Okay.
My marketing strategy director nephew suggested that for us actually. But the point is that you got to start somewhere, right? You get better as you go. You have to start with one tiny thing someplace, and then you build
And
on
see
that
where-
tiny
yeah.
thing.
Especially when we have a lot of knowledge between all of us. And
And some of
I
us
love your
ADHD.
questions, Natalie. Yeah, we have a lot of knowledge. We just don't know where to harness it. So if somebody says spirit guides, we're on it. But if you want to say, what's spirituality to you? And I'm like, oh, okay. Do we have to narrow this down in
Mm-mm.
15 minutes? I don't think we can do that. But
Well, we
yeah,
kind
so
of came
you-
across that with our aliens and star seeds, like our last
did.
live episode. We learned
Yeah.
from that we really need to narrow things down because that could
A
be
little
like
bit.
7 episodes in.
It could
one.
be. It could be.
And it should be, absolutely. And
So we've
even
been
this-
asked to do a
even-
follow-up, and we will.
Yeah, and even if you guys have questions about spirit guides, or if we need to go deeper,
We'll go deeper.
absolutely ask us questions, and we'll do more. We'll do,
And
yeah,
which
we'll
is why
have
we're
another
here.
show on that
Yeah.
topic.
For sure. Definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
All
this has
right.
been fun and informative. And thank you all for tuning in to our Spirit Tribe Tea Talk Inner Circle edition. And we hope you've enjoyed the show. Come back. We have our live show the second Wednesday of every month, and our Inner Circle edition, Unscripted, Unfiltered, and Unapologetically Us,
Yep.
drops the fourth Wednesday of every month. And we'll also be releasing some bonus chats coming up on the third Wednesday of every month. Take it away, Shannon.
Just remember, hit like and subscribe so you can see more of
That's
us
right.
and you don't miss any of the episodes.
That's
We'd
right.
appreciate it. And
That's
just
right.
always be kind. We love constructive criticism and help, but remember, we're new
Fine.
and didn't surprise easily.
And sprinkle a little kindness everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go.
Bye.